Hi guys, thank you so much. Congratulations again on the daytime Emmy, the Children's Daytime Emmy, and also just the amazing work that you've done on Volume 3. I wanted to ask, really, you have some characters with amazing hair covered by prosthetics, and then some characters with amazing prosthetics that have to have luxurious hair. What was the marriage of the two like between having to deal with prosthetics and then hairstyling?
So it's a lot of communication among all of us. It starts at Legacy Effects, and then between Alexei and I, we do a lot of fittings just to make sure that everything is going to go smooth. We look at it and go, there was a lot of times in fittings, Alexei would say to me, "Hey, could we do some type of like a wig cap like this, and then we can paint some opsite so it looks like skin." And I'm like, "Yes, let's do that." And so we would collaborate completely, so that way if we were going to cover someone's hair, with a wig, we could, portray that the alien skin was still going through. And with yes, like what you said, with Karen having the most luxuriously beautiful hair, just making sure that wrap was flawless, and then it could stay all day and it could last through swampy weather Atlanta.
Absolutely. Alexia, what about you? Anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Cassie's team did a great job of like when we were doing our Krylorians and our Kree, which are the blue and the pink people, they would dye their wig caps that would go underneath so it would all look like the skin so it doesn't just stop. And so there's a lot of attention to detail that was going on. And it's just a lot of planning, right? It's a lot of collaborating, it's a lot of talking to each other, and it's a lot of planning of this is, the same glue isn't the same glue you use for every single thing. It's a little bit different for foam than it is for silicone. And on this movie we had such a variety and a variety of makeups and a volume of those makeups that we all really had to talk a lot and plan everything and execute it well so the day would go right, our times were right, and we don't want to waste our actors time, we don't want to waste James Gunn's time, we want to make sure that we're on time. And so it was a lot of planning.
Absolutely. I think that makes a lot of sense, and the coordination has to be spot on. With someone like James Gunn, who's such a brilliant director and knows exactly what he wants, that coordination couldn't be more important. And you guys just nailed it, honestly. Making worlds, basically characters out of scratch. It's brilliant. So I also wanted to ask, on top of that, Lindsay, I mean, like, you're a master of prosthetics, and there's so many gorgeously done prosthetics in this movie. The humanimals, for example, are just these creations that came out of nowhere, and they're practical. It's all practical. It's not a CG overload in this movie, and I love that. Can you talk a little bit about your process in regards to creating the humanimals, but then also some of the crazier characters like the High Evolutionaries henchmen and even the Sovereign?
Yeah, I mean, they also, again, it all starts with the script and James's vision, and so he's incredibly collaborative that way. So when you start on a project, we all have biz dev meetings where we're with the production designer, the costume designer, props, special effects, and so we're all talking about what we're trying to do. And so with the script, you know what the character is, what it's supposed to do. James had a list of all the humanimals that he wanted in the movie, but he was also so generous in allowing us to kind of, if we had an idea for a character that we wanted to kind of present, he was like, go for it. So it was a very a fun time for the team here to kind of like try something that we hadn't done before, use materials that we hadn't done before. So we did a lot of rapid prototyping for some of the characters, the humanimals, for instance, where we would create a skull cap framework underneath the prosthetics and the hair work, so that we could connect, whether it be the bat family's ears, which are clear rapid prototype pieces that we painted. So we wanted to make sure we could get some nice light translucency coming through these giant, beautiful ears with the hair on them. And so they were magnetized into place, and then the prosthetics goes on those, and then the hair goes on top of that. So it was all kind of planned out how we would do those things. We had Alexei and Cassie collaborating with us, so they knew what we were thinking about before we went through with the whole project. And the same sort of thing with the carrot orange guard. That was done very similar, but his hair piece, his carrot hair, was actually a grown nylon piece that fit in within the prosthetics. But again, there is a little bit of CG work in it that's pre-planned. So like with his eyes, we knew that they were going to be big because the whole gag is that when Gamora says she was going to shoot him, these eyes like go extra big. So we worked with Steph Seretti, who's the VFX supervisor, and so it's all planned in advance. Like, this is what the gag's going to be. So we get to a certain place, and then you take it a little bit further. And so all of those characters, the Humanals, were so much fun to do it because there was such a variety of looks to them and how we did it, whether it was silicone, whether it was foam, whether we used real hair, or whether we used synthetic hair, whether we created quills for porcupines. There was so many different techniques used in this that was an incredibly exciting and time for everybody here at the studio and the team on set. And I think that we did collapsible cores for the what were they called? The techs, the bald
recorders.
The recorders.
Recorder scientists.
Yeah, so they had collapsible cores, and they were silicone appliances, but they also had mechanical pieces that were put in there. So there was a lot of different ways that we thought about this project. But we started and we went through the whole film working with Alexei and Cassie, making sure that what we were doing was as good as we could do, and it was hard because it was also the COVID times, so it was hard here and hard on set dealing with it. But coordinating back and forth was one of the highlights of my experience on this film.
Well, let me just say that saying goodbye to these characters has never felt so good and never looked so good. And it's just because of the amazing work that you guys have done. Congratulations on all of your success here. I'm rooting for you to get nominated for an Oscar like you did an Emmy. And just thank you for your time. Phenomenal movie, one of my favorites. You guys are the best. Have a great one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Me too.
Activists, directors, comments and the lectures, fanboys, professional artists and professors. Maybe a nerd who's just like you, talking about the things that you like too. So I invite you to the NOC. In full color, you see me.